Welcome back to Krafty Kreations with Sandra. This is a mini series based on the basics of stamping. Today we're going to learn about basic stamping. Stampin' Up! Has two kinds of stamps. They have one that is called photopolymer, and those are clear stamps. They're just like this, all right? They get stained, don't worry, they're not dirty. So they come on a plastic sheet covered with another plastic sheet, and you just peel them off when you use them, and then you just put them back when you're done. So this is a photopolymer stamp. I'll show you how to use it in a minute. The second kind of stamp is the cling stamp. The cling stamp has foam, has a little bit of a foam base. So, and then it has a really sticky sticker on it so that it clings to the block. All right? When you use these, you have to be really careful to pull off the sticker and not just yank it off, because you might take off the sticker. I'll show you how to use these. I'll show you how to use both. So let's start with the photopolymer stamps. So the photopolymer stamps are the ones that are just plastic. So we're going to use the daisy punch, and I'm going to put it on a block. You do need blocks. Stampin' Up! Has lots of sizes. Look, here's the A block, here's the B block, here's the C block, and the D. Let's see. This is D. This is H. This is E, D-E. So there's several others. There's a tiny little skinny one. There's up to H, I believe. So you want to get these basic sizes. I would recommend you get these 4 basic sizes. And if you want to add this one, that would be nice. So I believe some of you already have these 2 blocks. So the next purchase would be these 2 blocks. All right, and then eventually for the third purchase, you might want to get these 2 blocks. The blocks are clear, and you just wipe them with a wipe or with a towel. And the photopolymer stamps just cling on all by themselves. They just cling on. So we're going to stamp using our new Bumblebee ink color. And this is how you open it. You just press up, flip it over, and then slide it in. So I'm just going to take a piece of cardstock. And for photopolymer stamps, you need a cushion. Because remember a little while ago I showed you the other stamps, the cling stamps, they have their own cushion. These don't have a cushion. So you want to put a mouse pad or something underneath that is cushiony. Almost everybody has a mouse pad at home. That works just fine. So I'm going to put it under here. And I'm going to, let me see. Let me turn it this way so I have enough space. Let me turn it this way and put my ink right here. Can you see? Yes, you can see. There's my ink, and here's my pad. I'm going to take my stamp, and I'm going to tap, tap, tap. All right? Tap, tap, tap. I'm not going to dig in. I'm going to tap, 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 and move it around so I can get some ink. Then I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to stamp straight down, press really well. I'm not going to rock it. I'm just going to make sure that especially if it's a big stamp, make sure that all of it gets stamped. Then I'm going to go straight back up, and there's a very clear stamp. Okay? Now, if I wanted to, I'm going to close, just slide it back out, flip it, and then snap it into place. That's how that works. So I'm going to use some black ink now. This is the Memento ink. Memento Tuxedo Black ink. This is an ink that I recommend that you have as your first ink because you can't go wrong with black ink. With having black for all of your stamping. This is a chamois. A chamois is, you know, chamois for towels. Swimmers use chamois. You just clean it right here. And then your stamp is ready to go. It's clean. There's nothing on it. You keep it in a plastic bag so it doesn't dry out. You just keep it moist. And that helps clean your stamps. So now I'm going to, this stamp, this ink pad is different. It's harder. The other one was softer, more cushiony. So I'm also just tapping. I'm pressing a little bit. And I'm kind of twisting it so that I can be sure that the ink gets on the whole stamp. I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to stamp down, straight down, where I want it. I'm going to press. Notice I'm not rocking it. And then I'm going to come straight back up. So I get a very clear stamp. I'm going to show you what happens. Then I'm going to take my chamois once again. And I'm going to clean my stamp. I'm just going to clean it so it can be ready for the next color. And you just keep reusing the chamois. When it gets really dirty, you run it under the sink and you rinse it with water. And then it'll get stained, but it'll be clean. So now let me show you a phrase. So I'm going to stamp. I should have a smaller block. I wonder where it is. Okay, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to stamp thank you. All right. Once again, I'm going to move it around, tap, tap, tap. What happens is, as you use it, the ink runs out in some places. So if you move it around, you get ink from everywhere. So if there's a spot on the ink pad that has more ink, you run by it if you do that. All right? Here's my foam. I'm still using my foam. I'm going to go straight down. Straight down. Press it. Straight back up. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what not to do. You see, I got ink all over the place because I pressed too hard and I rocked it. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to rock the stamp because I think that that's going to help it. Well, look at what a mess I have. You see? You don't want to rock the stamp because if you get ink anywhere else besides the very top layer of the stamp, you're going to get stains that you don't want. So we want to stamp. I'm going to clean my stamp one more time. You really want to have a chamois so that you can keep your stamps clean and you don't contaminate your inks. So if you forget, you could potentially have black ink and stick it in the yellow ink pad, and that's not a good thing. So tap, 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 tap several times. My ink is kind of old, so I already know that I have to tap a lot. If you have a brand new ink pad, you won't have to tap so much. Straight down, press evenly, straight up. All right? So that is the photopolymer stamps. Let me now show you. Oh, I'll stamp a leaf for you. Let me I grabbed mint macaron. It's not very green, but it's a little bit green. So now I'm going to tap, tap, tap. I'm not pushing very hard. I'm just tap, tap, tapping. And I'm going to stamp some leaves. I can move my stamp around so I can put the leaves wherever I want them. And the benefit of the photopolymer is that I can see where I'm stamping. With the clean ones, I can't really see where I'm stamping. You see right here? I can put them in between all of those. And they go right in because I can see where I'm stamping. And you see, I'm tap, tap, tapping, and I even got ink here. But when I stamp, I'm being sure not to press anything other than the space where the stamp is. So I'm not getting that ink that's on the sides. Do you see that? There's ink over here and there's ink along here. Look. You see? But as long as I stamp straight down and straight back up, I'm not gonna get. If I rock it, look, you're gonna get edges that you don't want. So straight down, tap, 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 straight down, straight up. Tap, 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 straight down, straight up. Now, yes, I make it look easy, but I've been doing it for a long time, huh? That's what you're gonna think. So what you need to do is you need to practice. So get a sheet of paper, get your stamps, and then just practice stamping. So let me show you. So I'm going to line up my pad, my foam pad with the grid lines on my paper. I can line it up with the edge of the table if I don't have this paper. I'm making sure that it's straight. Then I'm making sure that my paper is straight on it. So when I stamp my words, I'm actually need to put my head over it so I can see, but I don't want to do that in front of you in the camera. So you will be able to look straight above it and stamp, and hopefully I got it straight. So there, I'm going to press. It's practice, all right? You don't become a perfect stamper the first time you stamp. The other thing is that nobody's going to be measuring if you got it exactly straight. So don't worry if it's a little crooked. That happens to all of us. So photopolymer stamps, you clean them. You put them back in the plastic where they were. Just line them back up where they have their picture on the plastic. And you're ready to move. So now I'm going to show you the cling stamps. These were photopolymer stamps. And in the catalog you will see that it says, let me show you. Let me close this ink so we don't have an accident. I've already told you somebody calls it incidents, so we don't want an incident. So let's see. I was showing you. Where's the stamps that I was going to show you? Oh goodness. This always happens to me. I drop things. Oh, here it is. I dropped it. Ridiculously awesome. That's what that's called. I'm going to look it up in the index. It's on page 90. I'm going to look on page 90. Here's ridiculously awesome. And it tells you 8 cling stamps. Do you see right there? And then if I go to here, the next one, this one is called Nothing Better Than. This one, and it says 26 photopolymer stamps. So you will automatically be able to tell what kind of stamps they are. And they use both. They use the cling for the stamps that have more intricate details because they can't do that with a photopolymer. So now let's try stamping with the cling stamp. We're going to get rid of this foam pad because we don't need it, because remember, the stamp already has foam on it. So we don't need additional foam. If you use the foam on the cling stamps, on the ones that are red rubber, they're also referred to as red rubber, you are more apt to get the edges that you don't want because there's too much cushion. So you only want to use the cushion on the photopolymer stamps, not the cling stamps, all right? Not the red rubber ones. Once again, I'm just tap, 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 tapping. I'm going to go straight down, press, and I'm not pressing with all my might, all right? I'm just pressing firmly, and there's my stamp, tap, tap, tap. Press firmly, Notice I'm not rocking it. And there we go. And then I clean it with my chamois. And it's ready to go back into my... Remember, you have to pull it off so that you grab the sticker too. If you pull it off from the foam, you'll leave the sticker on here because it's really sticky. So these come with the stickers not attached. You have to attach the sticker. So let me show you with one of these. Let me show you with this one. Notice this one doesn't have the sticker. I haven't put it on. So this one says, "You are my sunshine." And here's the sticker for "You are my sunshine." So we're going to go to the back. We're going to put it upside down. And you're going to notice it's a sticker sheet. So we can peel this off in both directions. It's always cut right in the center. So this is how I do it. I take off one piece. I get my stamp. Oops, oh, I just bumped you because I try to put my head down. Okay, so I line up as best as I possibly can. That side. Right, as best as I possibly can. And then I kind of fold this back and then I peel this side off. And then hopefully I line this up really well so that this one automatically clings in the right place. And then I peel it off and there's my cling stamp. You can see I have a tiny bit of sticker left over that I didn't quite do it 100% in the right place. I just cut it off. It's a tiny little piece. I'm just trimming it. Nothing will happen if you leave it. I just like taking it off. So there is my cling stamp. I'm gonna put it on my block. I'm gonna tap, tap, tap. Remember, in this case, we don't need the foam base because we already have foam there. I'm gonna stamp straight down. Press in the area where the stamp is. Come right back up. Now, I have to confess that this is not Stampin' Up! Paper. This is contraband paper because I ran out of white paper when the last class kit. That's why it's not stamping as clearly as it should. But let me grab a scrap of... Here. Let me grab a scrap of Stampin' Up! Paper. This is Stampin' Up! Paper. You're going to see the difference in the quality of the stamp. I'm tap, tap, tapping. Straight down. Press a little bit. Straight back up. Look at the difference. You see, this one is a little blurry, and this one is perfect. It's very smooth and dark. Let me show you with the yellow, with the bumblebee. So we'll do, here, I'm just sliding it. Sometimes they're a little bit hard. Flipping it back and snapping it into place. To open it, I'm going to open it. Slide it. I have to clean my stamp before I use it again. Otherwise I'll have a mess on my hands. It's clean. I'm going to turn my stamp because my stamp is kind of wide. Here, I'm going to leave it facing the other way, the same way. Tap, tap, tap when I got enough. Stamp, press, don't rock. Straight back up. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm going to clean my stamp once again. I'm going to close my ink, slide, flip, snap. And then I'm going to do the mint macaron. Just so you can see the different colors and how easy it is to use the cling stamps without the foam base, because they already have their own foam base. Press, don't rock, firmly. And there you go. You have the same stamp in 3 different colors. Isn't that awesome? Let me get my water. So what you want to do is you want to grab a piece of your Whisper white paper. Grab one of your blocks and your stamp set, whichever stamp set you have. And you want to practice. So let's see. Let me show you. I'm going to put this one away, remembering that I have to peel off the sticker before I pull the whole stamp off, so I don't peel the sticker off. And then I'm going to place it back, and I'm going to put the sheet back in there, okay? Until I do my, look, it clings to everything. So that's okay. So I'm going to show you. I believe you have this for sure. It stamps it. So let's stamp a few sentiments. Look, I haven't done my clings. Let's do the happy birthday one so you can review. I'm going to peel. This is the happy birthday. I'm going to peel half of the happy birthday off, and then I'm going to lift the other half so it's easy to lift. I'm going to line up my happy birthday. And if I could have my head over it, it would be much easier, okay? So when you're doing it, stand up and look like this so you can see where you're putting it. And then I'm going to let the rest, and then I'm going to peel the sticker, and now I have a cling stamp that's going to cling to my block. All right? I'm going to use this block. The smaller the block that you use, the easier it is to work with. But any block, as long as the stamp fits, will be fine. So let's do the congratulations. Let me go ahead and do the cling on that one. Congratulations is right here. I'm peeling off this side. I'm lifting up this side just so it can be ready. Ooh, that wasn't what I was. Let me see. Where's my congratulations? There it is. I'm going to line up the stamp to that section. I'm going to peel this part off, and I'm going to finish attaching it. Then I'm going to peel the sticker off of the page. It's going to be on my stamp. So there's my congratulations. This will go right here, back here. This one says, I made you a card because you're worth it. I think that's what it says. I'm going to look for that one. It's this one. I made you a card because you're worth it. Here, I'm going to peel this side off. I'm going to lift this side up. I'm going to line this up. I'm going to finish peeling this off. Push that on. Peel the sticker. And there's my cling stamp. This one is actually pretty nice. I barely have any left over here. I'm going to put that back in. I'm going to practice stamping with the happy birthday one. So, I'll finish those later. I have to tell you honestly that I never put the clings on because I just never get to it. But it is better because then they don't fall off the block. So let's stamp on the back of this one. Let's stamp with the Misty Moonlight. This is one of our new ink colors. You can also press, they say, I've never tried this. You press right here and it pops up. It's supposed to pop. There, it pops up. That way you can just turn it. If you find it too hard to pull apart right here, you can just press back here. It's gonna snap open. I've never tried that before. Ha ha ha, it does work. All right. There's my ink. Here's my stamp. Tap, tap, tap. Check that I have ink on all of it, on all the stamp. Tap, tap, tap. And then I'm going to stamp straight down, press, and there's a clear, clear stamp. Tap, tap, tap. So I recommend you take, for small stamps like this, you don't even need to press with your finger. You just press firmly, straight down, straight back up. For the larger ones, I recommend that you do this. But for the little ones, you don't. But what you need to do is you need to practice so that you know how much force you need to apply for the stamp. You don't want to overly press. So now let me show you. I'm going to press this in here, and then as you build your collection of tools, you will be able to stamp and punch a sentiment. And there's a sentiment ready for any card. Oops, sorry about that. Gonna make you dizzy. And there's a sentiment ready for your card. Remember, sometimes we punch it out with a color that goes with the rest of our card. It can be any color. Remember, we do this, and that way we can mat it. So if you can, I recommend that you get a punch or two so that you can decorate your sentiments. Look, I'm going to cut these tips because they'll show. I'm going to get my glue. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here and right here on the edge. I'm going to take my sentiment. I'm going to line it up with a bit of a border there. Then I'm going to do the same distance on this side. And there is my sentiment ready for my card. See how simple that is? So, to get started, I recommend that you get a sheet of paper. And if all you have to get started is copy paper, don't worry, that's fine. Just practice straight down, straight back up. Tap, tap, tap. Straight down, straight back up. Tap, tap, tap. Straight down, straight back up. Well, I hope this is useful for you. I'm going to use my chamois to clean my stamp. Leaves it really clean. It's a really good tool to have. So I do recommend that you get this chamois. I'm going to peel it off, making sure I bring the sticker with me. I'm going to put it back in my case. And I like to save them. I like to keep them in the red rubber that they come on. I like to keep them here, like that. I like to keep them on in the same slot. So when I open my case, I know if I'm missing a stamp. So that's the basics of stamping. I'm going to pull, slide, snap. You want to start off with a Memento ink. That's the best to start with. And then eventually you can add colors. I would add red, blue, green, the basics, yellow, so that you can have the primary colors. That's how I would do it. But here are the blocks, all the sizes. Actually, that's not all the sizes, but that's some of the sizes. I believe you need these 4 to begin with. These 4. And then you can add this one and this one. I don't really use, there's a much larger one that's about this size. I don't really use it very often, so I wouldn't bother getting that one. I would stick to these 4. So let me know if you need any. And I hope that I gave you a brief introduction and a clear introduction into our stamps and how to stamp so that you can begin practicing on your own and you can continue to learn. All right? Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in a little while. I'm going to talk about basic card design.